Hi everyone. Today our topic is average rate. It's pretty similar to ratios, except rates are like special ratios. You're going to want to put this in your notebook, this special vocabulary word here, rate. Rate involves two quantities, just like a ratio. However, it's usually expressed as one quantity per unit of another quantity, the key word being one. So normally a ratio would be like 5 to 3 or something like that. But a rate needs one of the units to be expressed as just one quantity. So we're going to go over what we mean by that. A couple of popular examples of rate are speed and the cost per unit. Those are the most common ways that we'll hear about rate in everyday life. So, speed, for instance, like 25 miles per hour. You've probably heard that before, right? Miles per hour. It doesn't say miles per 1 hour, but that's basically what it is. We just don't say miles per 1 hour. But when someone says 25 miles per hour, it means that you travel 25 miles for every 1 hour that passes. That's the average distance that you're traveling for every 1 hour. So again, rate is just like a special ratio, except it's going to be expressed as one quantity per unit. Okay. The other example that we most likely see rate in our everyday life is cost per unit. So, for example, $3.99 per pound of apples. It doesn't say per 1 pound of apples, but that's basically what it's implying. So that means each 1 pound costs $3.99. So rate always involves one quantity per unit. To find average rate, you divide. That's the important mathematical operation you need to perform to find rate. So you definitely want to write that down in your notebook, in addition to the definition of rate. And usually people get kind of confused, like, well, how do I know what to divide? It's usually in the problem or the question that you're looking at. So for miles per hour, you would just take the number of miles and divide it by the number of hours. It basically tells you the order. Miles per hour means miles divided by hour. For a cost per unit, you would take the cost and you divide it by the unit. Cost divided by the unit. And in this case of the apples, it's per pound. It could be ounces. It could be boxes, just however it is that you measure whatever it is. So I like to tell people that usually time is at the end, and then cost, the money, is in the beginning, because that's just how we talk about speed. It's usually however many miles or kilometers per second or minutes or hours. It's always at the end. The time is at the end. And then when we talk about money, it's always in the beginning, because we want to know how much something costs per however much units you're talking about. Okay, so let's do some examples together. Here's our first example. Example 8 from your book. Find the rate in each case. So A, Mary typed 280 words in 5 minutes. And B, a car traveled 1,066 miles on 52 gallons of gas. Okay, so we need to figure out the rate. Remember, like we said, for rate, when we're talking about speed, we want to know how much per time. So the minutes is going to go at the end. And they pretty much gave it to you in the correct order anyways. And we need to divide. So we need to know how fast Mary typed her words per 1 minute now. Okay, so we need to take the 280 words and we need to divide it by the 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to divide by 5. Top and bottom. Let me rewrite that division sign. Okay, so in my calculator, I'm doing 280, calculate 280 divided by 5 to get that numerator of 56. 56 was 280 divided by 5. Words we didn't touch, so that can be copied back over. And then 5 divided by 5 is just 1. Remember, we want it to be per 1 minute, so we can figure out the rate, because rate is per 1 unit. And then we didn't touch the minutes. So this final answer is 56 over 1 words per minute, or 56 words per minute, WPM. And that's our answer for Mary's rate. She typed for 5 minutes, 280 words total. If we want to figure out how fast she was doing this entire time, we would just divide 280 divided by 5. She was typing 56 words per minute, which is pretty good. All right, let's take a look at B. A car traveled 1,066 miles on 52 gallons of gas. We need to figure out the rate. We know that the distance will need to go first because we want to know how far this car went per 1 gallon of gas. Okay, so we're going to take the 1,066 miles and we're going to divide it by the 52 gallons of gas. Okay, because we want to know how far this car can go on just 1 gallon of gas. How far does that actually take us? Okay, so we are going to divide by 52, top and bottom, because we want the bottom one to end up as 1. 52 divided by 52 is 1. And then on the top, the numerator, 1,066 divided by 52 is 20.5, or 20 and a half. Miles is on top, we didn't touch, and gallons on the bottom. So this would be 20 and a half miles per gallon, or MPG. So each car actually has what's called an MPG, and smaller cars actually have a higher MPG because they weigh less, so they can go faster, while like trucks actually have a lower MPG. They don't go as far per gallon because they have to carry all that weight. So 20.5 MPG, or miles per gallon, is for this car. Okay, so again, all we're doing is dividing. Let's go on to another example. The price of a 2,200 square feet house is $277,200. Find the price rate of the house in dollars per square foot. Okay, so in this problem, they're telling you they want to find out the cost per square foot. So they're kind of telling you what to divide. Go ahead and pause the video and try it on your own first. Okay, so again, they're telling us they want the cost per square foot. So they're telling us that the cost needs to go on top, even though it's listed second. And on the bottom, the square feet. 2,200 square feet. So then at the end, you'd be able to figure out the cost per 1 square foot. Okay, we're going to divide top and bottom by 2,200 because we want to know how much it's going to cost per 1. 2,200 divided by 2,200 is 1 square foot. On the top would be 277,200 divided by 2,200. So that's 126. $126. So it costs $126 per square foot for this house. So again, dollars per square foot. That's why dollars goes on top, square foot goes on bottom, square feet. Okay, one last problem then. A technician took 3 hours to complete a job. He charged $84 for his service. So we have the time and we have the cost. Find the hourly rate he charged. And then if another job took 4 hours to complete, how much did he charge for the job at the same hourly rate? Go ahead and pause the video, try it on your own first. Okay, so for this problem, they don't tell you what the rate is, so you're gonna have to figure it out yourself. Okay, let's see what makes more sense. Would we take the hours and divide it by the cost, or would we take the cost and divide it by the hours? Which one makes more sense? When you're trying to hire someone for a job, do you want to know how long it's going to take them per dollar that you pay them, or do you want to know how much you pay them per hour? If you said how much you pay them per hour, you are correct, right? Because they're going to take a certain amount of time and you're going to pay them however much it takes them, however long it takes them. Okay, you're not really, that would be interesting to find out how long it takes for each dollar, but it also kind of doesn't make sense for you, right? So you want to know the cost per hour that they work, okay? So like I said before, your cost is pretty much always going to be first because you want to know how much it costs for whatever time somebody spends, not so much the other way around. Okay, so we want to know the cost per hour. The cost was $84. So we're going to put that on top. And this person took 3 hours when they were working. So to find the average rate or the hourly rate, we're going to divide top and bottom by 3 because we want the 1 on the bottom. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 84 divided by 3 for our numerator. That's 28. $28 per 1 hour. So that's their hourly rate, $28 per 1 hour. So if they work 1 hour, you pay $28. If they work 2 hours, you pay them $56, and so on. It's easy for you to calculate how much they're charging. Okay, part B. If another job took 4 hours to complete now, how much did he charge for the job at the same hourly rate? So still charging $28 per hour, but now it's taking them 4 hours to complete. Okay, well, if it's $28 per hour, per 1 hour, and it's taking them 4 hours to complete, hours and hours cancel, it's really 28 times 4, right? Because that's going to be multiplied 4 times. $112 that you would pay this person to do their technician job, whatever it is that they need to fix for you. Okay, so that is average rate.